Hello, my Lego friends. Welcome back. You guys are gonna have fun with this one. This is not an absolute, but it's a must in my book. If you want to have a really nice gymnastics gym and you want all of the teammates to come and practice and work really hard, you need somewhere for their stuff. And depending on how many gymnasts you want to have in your gym is depending on how many lockers you have. Now the lockers can be placed anywhere in the gym. They be on the north side, the south side, the east, the west. Be the very front where you enter the gym. It could be in the very back. It could be where the bathrooms are. It could be anywhere you want to place these. Now, I'm going to give you kind of a very easy, basic way of building a locker set and then kind of an advanced locker set. And these are the ones I've come up with. This one here, pretty easy, pretty basic. You're only putting the lockers together and putting them, attaching it with pieces like this. Same thing at the bottom. That is locker set number 1. Then you have locker set number 2, which is also pretty basic, pretty easy. If you know those pieces, all you have to do is find pieces to attach it to at the back and then stack them. Now, if you want to add hooks for coats, you can add hooks for coats. That's the second one we can build. Now the third one is also pretty easy. I'm using Lego pieces that aren't used this way. I'm using a flat piece horizontally so that you can see how else you can use them to put a locker set. And this is just cubbies. It's not really lockers, it's just cubbies. So maybe you put a book bag, some shoes at the top, and it's up a bit by 4 little round pieces. There's that one. Now here's another very easy one. Super easy. Now, if you have these, I got these from a skating rink, I think. And these are actual lockers. I'll take one off. That's an actual locker, right? And all you're doing is stacking them. That's all I did was stack. You take 3 and you stack them. Now, if you have a ton of these, you can make a ton of them. There you are. And then I just kind of put it, sit it down on one piece like this, any piece you have, and then you can add stuff like this, and you can add more lockers next to it, right? You can add here. I don't have too many of these, so I'm not going to add it, but you can get the idea of how you would add it. And then of course you can put them anywhere in your gymnastics gym. That's another one. Super easy, super fast. It took me 5 seconds to build. Now this one here is more complex, right? But it's an actual locker set. It's got a place for your things at the top. It's got a place for a jacket or a coat, maybe an umbrella, whatever you need. But that's for one gymnast. So if you have a huge space, you can make this one. This is literally the locker set. So with that said, we're going to get to building these. Now the first one I want to build with you is going to be super, super easy. Super, super easy. It's this guy. This is going to be fun because all you really need are 2 of the 4x1s. You're going to need however many one of these you have. These little pieces, right? And you could really use any block that you have. You can have one that's bigger. It doesn't matter. What you're doing is creating spaces, boxes for your gymnasts to put their stuff. You can add 2 of these, or you can do 4. However many you want to add. And then you'll need some flat pieces. Depending on where you set these up, will tell you where you're going to add your flat pieces. Now I have here an 8x8 flat. These are the other smooth pieces you'll need. If you want to make them smooth, you don't have to, but they definitely look nice. And I would stick with the same color. So if you're going to use green board, backboard, I guess, you're going to use green pieces that are flat. Okay, so with that said, take these. I like to take them and put them at the bottom. 1, 2, 3, and then you leave a space. Add another one. 2, 3, and then maybe, just maybe, I will add that. I don't have all the same brown, so I'm working with an extra one. Now, ideally, I would like to have, 9 of them. I only have 8. That's why I have a hole. But that hole can be used for a bigger book bag, maybe some shoes, maybe a boot or something, right? So it's not all that bad if you have an extra one, just like that. Now, you can lay it flat like that, and that's how the gymnasts put their stuff, right? You can lay it flat like this, depending on how you want your set to go. Now, I have these really cool notch looking things. I like to use those for the coats, like a coat hanger, right? You can always put that there, right? And put the other one here next to it. They have spaces for 2 gymnasts to put. They can either hang up their book bag, they can hang up some shoes, right? You can literally do whatever you want with those. So with that said, you can take these pieces and put it across one section, like that. You can put it across another section, like this. Just makes it look really nice. Now, these here can go in the back of this, right? And the same thing, like that. And then these can just go in these little spaces. I'm just literally filling it out. If it doesn't fit, you can take this and push it down. I always find myself using other tools to push it into place. So I'm pushing it so it fits in there, because my fingers don't fit through the little holes. Unfortunately, I'm kind of older now, so I can't put my little phalanges in there, my little fingers. All right. There you go. Now that's what it looks like. That is your cubby. Now these go in the back of them because you don't want it to fall over, right? You don't want it to fall over. So I always place mine in the back to give it more of a base. And now this can be set anywhere you want your cubby to go. Anywhere in the gymnastics gym. So that looks like that. You can have 3 places here, 2 here, 2 here, and 3 here. So 8 gymnasts can share one little cubby area. And there's that one. So that's that cubby. You've already seen this one. Now I have a ton of these. Now the funny thing is with this is that you can use any of them and stack them, right? You can use any of them, and I already showed you how I did that. You can use any base, right? You can use that base to put it on, right? And then you just stack them. It's pretty easy to do. You just stack them all around. Now, could you do it like this? Sure you could, right? And then add more to the top. Just keep building. Could you do something like this? Maybe add levels to it, maybe? So maybe you could do something like this is me adding stuff to it, right? Could you do stuff like that and then add it to the top like this? Sure you could. Could you add a spot for shoes? Absolutely. You could literally make this however you want to build this, right? Because now, look at that. You could do it that way, right? And then you add another 2x2. That's what I'm doing, is 2x2s. Add another 2x2, and then add something like this, right, to it. Actually, I don't like that one. I don't like this one, because then they'll hit their head. Maybe I can do something like 2x8, right? And put that on top. See that? Now, you're gonna have to add something at the other end. So maybe you'll do something like this. Or maybe you could do something like this. This really is up to you of what you want to do, right? And then of course you add another 2x piece, like that. So you're really just stacking and adding stuff. Maybe you want to add this and then add a flat piece, right? Your cubbies can really become your own creation, right? Your own creation. So now I'm going to go back. I'm just adding a bunch of 2x1s. I made a little cubby area right here. Okay? And then you can add this guy again. And that could be a little section. So you don't have to stick to just stacking them. You can add a spot for maybe a handbag, right? Maybe your grips will go there. Maybe your water bottles will go there. And then maybe your belongings go in here and you can lock it away, right? So do the other side. You could really add whatever you want. And of course I added that ledge, right? So you can add a flat piece to that. Let's see. Here you go. Now I add a flat piece. So you really can add whatever you want to add to that. Maybe it becomes that way, right? Maybe that's, and then you can add something like this. Right, we'll add it this way then, I suppose. I'll add a 2x1 right here. I'll add a 1x1 stacked. Man, I'm getting really lucky. Here we go. How about that? So you really can just add stuff to make this cubby area very personalized, right? You don't necessarily have to stick with just stacked. You could add so much to it and come up with something like this. Now, of course, I added this piece, right? The 2x1, well, 3x1, but it could become something completely different too. You don't have to just stick with nothing there. You can always add something to it. No. So here's another one. Now, since we've added that one, this one here is just the same. You're just finding different drawers and different cubbies that you can add to make it look nice. And I hold it together by these long pieces at the top. So go find yourself a bunch of the drawers, right? And remember, it's as much as you want to make it. It's as big as you want to make it. You're literally just stacking them. You're just stacking them. And how you stack them is completely up to you. Like, I don't have this memorized at all. I have no idea what it's going to be when I make each one. Okay? But the logic is the same. You're going to start off with the base, depending on how many you have. Start off with the base. Now remember, this is broken in half. I would usually use like all black, but for demonstration purposes, we're going to do that. Now with that said, wherever it comes together is where you're going to add your first one. I like to add a drawer at the bottom. And this is a 3x4. The drawers are 3x4s. So with that said, you can add a middle piece here, like a 2x1. See that? You can add a 2x1 to make it some like space in between each gymnast, because you definitely need space in between each gymnast. So go find yourself a bunch of drawers and a bunch of 2x1s, and then you can put it together. what mine looks like, the first level. Got 2x1s, drawers, 2x1s, drawers, 2x1s, drawers, 2x1s, drawers. Now, I had to add this one here because it kind of looks funny. But use this for spacing, right? Use this for spacing. Utilize it somehow. You don't have to use this. You can use anything else you want to add here. But just for the very basic, there. Now, you're going to add a piece like that to go across the whole entire thing. A big 2x1. There you go. Then, you add another 2x2 or 2x1 flat. I don't really have any 2x1s flats, but let me see. Do I have any in here? No, I don't. I have to go grab some. I'm gonna grab a bunch. Pardon me for just 1 second. All right, so I just grabbed a bunch of my 2x2 flats and a bunch of the 2x8s and 2x10s. So now I was looking for this piece right here. I'm gonna add that just like that. Okay, so now you have all of your drawers. Now you're gonna go for your actual lockers, which are these guys. Now these are the pre-boxed, pre-made. And you're going to do the same thing we did below. You can add 2 and then add your 2x1 blocks. Add your 2 and then your 2x1 blocks. Now apparently that's supposed to be ice cream, an ice cream chest, but we're using it for something different. 2x1s, we're just literally copying the same thing we did down below, except now we're using lockers. And we have to have the 2x1s again. So here's what it looks like. So you have your lockers here, right? And you have all of yours down there. That is your cubby first. Now, you could very well add more cubbies down below, like cubby, 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 or you can choose to do cubbies at the top. Cubby, 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 cubby. I'm gonna do cubbies because I have a lot of them. It's going to the very top. You're going to add this to the top. So whatever you want to add, you're going to do it to the top before you add your another cubbies. So you want to add those flat pieces so it makes it nice and it looks nice together. It just presents. Now, if I was doing this to my taste, I would do all black, all black. I just think black is so pretty to distinguish. I would do all black here, black, all black, all black. So with that said, let's add more cubbies. Ooh, am I running out of cubbies? I totally am. I totally am. Oh no. All right, well, we're gonna take the drawers out. The easiest way to make these is just by taking the drawers out and putting doors on. Now, I know I have doors to these cubbies, but don't ask me where because I don't even really know where they are because my boxes are empty. But you can add doors to these cubbies, right? So there you are. Now I'm missing 2x1, so let me go and put those together. I would call this very basic. Very basic build. Super, super basic. And there you have it. Now, if you want to get more kind of artsy, you can always add feet. You can always add feet. So if I add the feet to them, they just look like this. They just look like that. I added the feet to them. Now if you set them down, It's gonna look like this. How nice is that? How nice is that? And I just added it by adding the 2x1s to your feet, just like that. So there is another cubby that you could possibly make for these gymnasts, okay? Girls can have one section, boys can have the other sections, or all gymnasts, all little humans can share the same. Now, you're gonna wanna add this to the very top. I don't have a very straight piece to add to it, like a nice flat straight piece, so I'm not gonna add it, but I just think that looks really nice to finish it off. There's another Cubbies, right? Now, this piece here, we're gonna go back to this piece. This is a very unique looking one, okay? Why I say that is because it's very personalized to a gymnast, except for the fact that if you have a lot of gymnasts, you may not want to build this one. This could possibly be for the coaches. The coaches would like to have this. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna build this. It's kind of complicated because you do need a lot of personalized pieces, places where you put your quotes and stuff. And that's the only problem, is you kind of have advanced pieces you have to use, but we can still make it. Let me use my tool to take this off. All right, so with that said, you're gonna want to use a flat piece, and you're gonna grab the mailbox, right? That's gonna be your cubby. This is gonna be your actual cubby. This is gonna go on the end of your mailbox, just like that. Just like that. Now, remember, this is gonna be for hanging up an outfit, hanging up a coat, maybe a book bag. Maybe your book bag doesn't fit in there, but you need to have your bag. All right. You need a bunch of the shoving pieces, right? How many you want to use for this, because depending on how many you want to build, depends on how many you need. So for this one, we're using basically, we need this piece. This piece is fun. You need one of each of these. Actually, that's the same. That is the same piece. So you just need two of these. Two of these corner pieces. You need two of these, right? Usually with the friend, their seats, you build seats with it. You need two of these. You need, if you want to build the place that you hang coats on, you'll need one of each of these. You'll need two of these 2x1s. You need a base, whichever base you want to use. You'll need 1, 2, 3, 4 of the 2x2 bricks, all the same color if you have it. And you'll need two of these. You'll need, did I do the flats yet? I don't know, you have two flat pieces, 2x1 flats. 1x2 of the raised pieces. And that's about it. That's about it. I think, did I get this one? You'll need one of these? No? Maybe so. I don't know. Now, figure out where you're going to put this, where you're going to build it. Figure out where you're going to build it. Because now, you're going to take one of your 2x1s and you're going to put it on your set. I'm going to put it in the upper left. There we go. My left. So bottom left, I guess, or upper right. Then you're going to add this piece, right? And you're going to put that right on the inside of your build. And like that. You can take that skinny piece, the 1x1, you can put it right there. right next to it. And you do your cube again, your 2 by 2, put that on top of that. Then you need another 2 by 2 cube, put that right on top. You're gonna stack it, just like that. Then you're gonna take this piece and you can put that either place, it doesn't matter where. You take this piece here and put it right here. That's going to attach your mailbox. And did I forget a piece? I did. Take that off, right like that. And you're going to put another one of these, right like that. There you go. Because remember, you have to have a space here to put their coat and stuff. I forgot about that. If you don't, it's going to be too close, as it was before. So you want that spaced. There you go. Then you can take that mailbox that you built with that little piece in there, and you're going to add that to the outside. Because remember, it's going to open towards your gymnast. It's going to open towards your gymnast. Now, if you do it any other way, the box is going to open at the top, it's going to open at the bottom. You don't want any of that. But it's going to be on that side. So here's what you have so far. Now, you want to build places for their shoes and stuff. And that could be really anything. You can put a two piece here and add the shoe place to here. That's why I don't like doing it that way. You can't see it. Let's take that back out. Now you can see where I added it. That's the whole purpose of me adding different colors, so you can see where things are going. Okay, so if you were the gymnast, you'd be looking at this and you'd be like, oh, where are my shoes? Well, the pink place where you put your shoes. Oh, where are my things? Oh, inside of my locker. Let's open that up. Oh, inside of my locker. Oh my gosh, that's so nice, right? And where can I put my coat? Well, there's where you could put your coat, right there. So now you have all these extra pieces. What in the world are we going to do with all these extra pieces? Well, that's for you to find out. You can add another piece there, right? You can add another piece for a coat or maybe a book bag hook. You can add another place for shoes if you want, right? You can add that down below. You can really make this your own, right? Or you can add it up a little bit like we did with the other one. Add it up and then add that next to it. Do a black piece. Add the black piece next to the pink, and you can add the white. Now, ideally, I like to have the same color, black to black, because that looks really pretty, right? Now, that's a very personalized one. You can always add around the corner to it, right? You can add a corner piece. There you go. Add another 2 by 1 and add another 1. Heck, you can have friends sitting down there and taking off their shoes, right? You can have friends sitting there getting their grips. Now you can add definitely more to it. You could do something like that. Add that piece there, because then you can create another shelf. Another shelf, a hanging shelf. See? So this could be a really personalized piece. Now, whatever you do here, you're going to add it again. So you might do this again and think, oh, this is kind of neat. What did I add? And just follow what you did by just looking at what you built, or just take it back a little bit and then figure out what you want to add. So there's that. And of course, I have all these extra pieces. What do you do with them? Well, you can add to it. I could definitely add these back to back and add a space for my lunchbox, right? See up there? That's pretty neat. I mean, it really is completely up to you what you want to add to it. Again, you can add a sign. You can assign one where it says your name. Whatever gymnast there could be their name. And you can add that to the back of that. See? Cheyenne's locker, Timothy's locker, Stacy's space, Dominique Dawes. Whoever you want to name your gymnast, whatever you want to name them. So there's that one. So now that we have those, I want to get to this guy. This is my favorite one to build. All-time favorite one to build. And we're going to use pieces in a way that you might not have used before. And what I mean by that is that, sure, you've used these pieces probably as feet. But we're going to use those as feet. So grab 4 of these, okay? You want 4 of those. Those are going to be the feet. Then, should I build this the regular way? Just build it from how I have it? I don't know. I'm going to just take it apart. It's pretty easy to do. All right. And then you're going to take a bunch of these, whatever you have, preferably the same exact color. You're going to need 8 of these. 8 of these. You're going to need a bunch of your flat pieces. Probably 3 of these, flat. Same color, probably black or white or blue, whatever you want. Then you're going to need 5, 10, 15. I'm going to guess 15 of these flat 2x2 flats. Now, I don't know why I keep trying to do this on my own, not use the tool, when obviously it hurts to not use the tool. I'll just use this. Now here's what you're going to want to do. You're going to have to collect 4x8s. Probably 3 to 4 of them, depending on how tall you want this to be. Collect 3 to 4 of these. It's going to be where you build everything on. Now, if you want to do a wall hanger for their coats and things, you can use this. You don't need to have this, and you definitely don't need this one. I ran out of stuff. And then you're going to collect as many of these as you can to put their shoes into, or you don't need them at all. But those are good for shoes, okay? Or boots. All right, we're going to get building these. These are really fun. All right. We're going to build it from the ground up. The very bottom to the top. You're going to grab your color. I prefer white, so if you have white of these, I would grab 4 white ones. And there are your 4x8s, right? So stop the video and collect all the pieces you need. All right, now that you've stopped the video and collected them, take your piece and you're going to add 4 of these to the corner of yours, right? Add it to each corner. Whatever you do, you're going to do the very same thing to the very next space. So it should look like that. Then you're going to take 2 of these, add to each side, kind of right above where you added the feet. Make sense? So there we go. I'm going to try to make it look nice. Then this is really important. You're going to grab 2 of these and stack them. Put them right on top of what you just did. It's really important that you do 2 of them. I've stacked it. See that? Do the same thing to the next side. There you go. So it should look like this. Now, you're going to take your 2x4s, and you're going to add at the very, it's going to be your backboard for this. What you're creating is a backboard for your cubbies, okay? And you take another one. I'm going to do a white one. Ideally, you want the same color, right? And you put that next to it. It should slide right in there. We don't usually use pieces like this, but we're going to use it this way this time. Then you're going to create a sideboard, which is this one. This here is going to go right there and right there. Right there and right there. What you're creating is your own, and I tend to want to do it so it's facing each other. What I mean by that is that I'm going to make it so that it is facing each other. So it looks like it's going towards, see the flat to flat? Then you see the back side.